Mayor Olivia Chow is holding a press conference at City Hall on gender-based violence and intimate partner violence. Let's listen in.
Joined by advocates Heather McGregor, CEO of the YWCA Toronto, Marisa Kokoros, okay, Executive Director of the Aura Freedom International, Kala Mito, the Executive Director, Neto, Executive Director of the Women's Habitat Etopical, and Aaron Lee, Executive Director of the Leonard County Interval House, Joanne Brooks, the Coordinator of End Violence Against Women, Renfrew County. Thank you for coming all the way down here. And Deepa Mittal, the Executive Director of the Barbara Schaefer Clinic. And others standing with me are Goldblatt Partners, Women's Habitat of Etopical, Women Abuse Council of Toronto, and Ontario Association of Transition and Interval House. And of course, I'm joined by Councillor Lily Chang, who spoke on the issue this morning. Every 48 hours between 2018 and 2022, one woman were killed. It's sobering. It's about the length of our council meetings sometimes. And to think about it, a lot of them happens in urban center like Toronto. In fact, in Toronto, the latest record was about 9 people being killed this year, 3 alone in May. Declaring intimate partner violence as an epidemic would actually fulfill the first recommendation of the 86 recommendations that came out from the inquest into the 2015 murder of Carol Culleton, Anastasia Kunsek, and Natalie Wormetham in Renfrew County in Ontario. Their lives are needlessly lost by the same person. And the recommendations talked about many areas. It talked about better support for victims of violence, better tracking of perpetrators, better bail conditions, more housing, better treatment for men earlier treatment. It's extensive recommendations. Many of the recommendations, in fact, was echoed by the final report called Turning the Tide of the Nova Scotia mass killing, where 22 people died. And that report came out in March of this year. And it talks about public awareness, it talked about education, it talks about dealing with the root cause of violence, about mental health, and many, many aspects. In my life, I've witnessed intimate partner violence through my mom and my dad. My dad was quite violent towards my mother. And later on, because I was financially independent, I was able to take my mom out into my basement apartment where she lived in safety, free from fear, and be able to start a second chapter of her life. I believe every woman should have a chance to be free of violence from intimate partners. And I know the people around me are working very hard to make that a reality. I know that together as a city, as a country, we can, maybe I wouldn't dare to dream, end violence. we can certainly take the journey to walk across and get to that goal. This morning, our declaration that was unanimously supported by every councillor is the first step. City Council has already taken a lot of work on working with the police, working with our public health department on dealing with this issue. And with this declaration and all the recommendations in there, I believe we could do a lot more. So I want to thank all of the folks here for their many decades of work. Some are older than others. It's a labor of love because they're certainly not paid much to do all this. So I also want to commend Councillor Chang for doing a lot of the hard work. She will continue to do a lot of the hard work on behalf of Council and many others. You know, what's shocking today when I was, after I made the speech, is other councillors spoke about their personal experience, whether it's Speaker Francis Nunziata about her personal experience, Councillor Chang, and other councillors came up to me afterwards and said, yes, my grandmother, yes, my relatives, so my friends. So this is something that we absolutely need to deal with collectively. I now turned my mic over to, okay, Melissa. Okay, Marissa. Okay, you introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mayor Chow.
My apologies.
I'll introduce
Now,
myself. I'll say my name.
Yeah, I have another meeting to run to, so I'm going to slip away briefly. Okay, if you can give me 1 second, let me just answer that quick question. Don't go far. Go ahead. Yeah.
Very quickly, with regard to this, obviously the declaration included having staff continue to work on this, trying to
That's
come
right.
up with a plan, work with these organizations.
Absolutely.
But there wasn't a timeline attached to that. So when are you expecting to have someone come back and actually say, here's what we need to do, here's some of
Councillor Lily Chang is on the Police Service Board. It's her commitment to come back very quickly. I would imagine within
Before next council.
before. Wow. Okay, take that. Oh, October. On what the police are doing. We didn't have enough time, but you will see that Speaker Francis Nunziata had a slide deck in front of her already about what the police are doing. And Councillor Chang will do a lot more on it and come back with a report. We had a Zoom meeting between this morning and now from this whole group. They are forming a round table. They are giving us concrete suggestions. And I believe Councillor Chang will come back.
We've been listening to Mayor Olivia Chow down at City Hall. She's been holding a press conference today to declare gender-based violence and intimate partner violence an epidemic.